with tiny first chapter pages included, that we would be giving to our guests as Christmas ornament takeaways. As a bookbinder specializing in rare book restoration, I considered it my duty to always give books as gifts, and I tried to be creative about it. Scattered under the tree and spreading nearly halfway across the living room were oodles of beautifully wrapped gifts. Most were for the children, and yes, we had gone overboard, but why not? This was our first time hosting Christmas Eve, and we wanted it to be special. When the front doorbell finally rang, I took a few more seconds to silently freak out, then rested my hand on Derek's strong shoulder. Smiling bravely, I said, "I'll get it." He reached for my hand. "We'll go together." An hour later, the chaos that I'd warned Derek about was upon us. But, okay, it wasn't quite as horrifying as I'd imagined. People were chatting and laughing while enjoying the wine and appetizers. Christmas carols were playing in the background, and the children were sneaking peeks at all the goodies under the tree. For the most part, everyone was having a lovely time. My oldest friend Robin held court on the living room couch with baby Jamie, my darling new nephew. There was some minor controversy brewing since Jamie's dad, my brother Austin, had taken to calling the little guy Jake. But whatever they decided to call him, the wee one was constantly being whisked away by anyone with an urge to cuddle an adorable baby boy, and who didn't have that urge once in a while? He was such a good baby, and was just one more reason why Derek and I had decided to build a home here in Dharma. I loved all my brothers and sisters and their kids, but I'd especially wanted to be near Robin when she had her first child. Derek and I both wanted to be a part of their lives, and that wasn't always easy to do while living and working in San Francisco. This way, we could have the best of both worlds. A few years ago, Derek's parents had surprised us all by buying a vacation home in Dharma after we'd introduced them to my parents before our wedding. Now the four of them were best friends and part-time neighbors, too. My sister China, who was 7 months pregnant with her second child, sat down next to Robin, and the two began exchanging childbirth horror stories. Anyone was welcome to join in, but seriously? I loved them both, but I was steering clear. Mainly because I'd heard the worst of their stories before, but also because, yuck, am I right? From across the room, I met Robin's gaze, and her eyes gleamed with mischief, knowing that all the childbirth talk tended to make me a little queasy. I was pretty sure she did it on purpose, but I loved her anyway, even when she regularly warned me, "You're next," which was often followed by a spine-chilling, blood-curdling laugh. I regularly assured her that I wasn't next, but she still enjoyed taunting me with all the grisly details of her labor pains, as though that might be some kind of temptation. I personally thought she spiced up the stories just for me. We had been besties from day one, when my family and I arrived in Dharma and I first saw her, a skinny little 8-year-old clutching her bald Barbie doll. Even at that early age, I recognized a fellow misfit when I saw one. I smiled at the memory, took a sip of champagne, and nibbled on a melted brie mini quesadilla as I made my way across the room, checking that everyone was enjoying themselves. I savored the brie as well as the eclectic bits of conversation I overheard as I moved through the crowd. I couldn't wait for everyone to open their presents, especially the ones I'd made. In the past, my sisters had given me some grief for always giving books as gifts, but what did they expect? Books were my life. I made my living by restoring rare books. What else would I give as a special gift to the people I love? I was happy to hear that this was the year that everyone finally wanted books again, especially the parents of the youngsters who were just learning to read. Both Derek's and my family members were voracious readers, so they had made it clear that books as gifts were once again in vogue. Still, I had decided to venture a bit farther afield with my gift-giving, especially for the adults in the family. It had taken me months to complete everything, but I had managed to make every gift by hand, mostly using recycled books, and I was excited to see the reactions they got. A few of my sisters would be receiving something I called a butterfly book, an old book that, when opened, revealed dozens of delicate paper